Hi, welcome back. I was listening to some of my videos and I realized that I always start with hi, welcome back, but I can't really think of anything else to say. But on that note, I just want to say I really appreciate those of you who are like following and commenting. Well, not publicly, clearly, but really interested in this journey and walking this journey with me. I really appreciate it. So I am going to share today the lessons I learned from reading Deuteronomy 8 to 10. And one thing I've noticed about this book so far is that Moses is doing quite a lot of reiterating, like reminding the Israelites, just to bring it back to context. This is the time just before they go into the promised land. So I guess it bears repeating in Moses' mind all the promises, all the commandments, and the things that the Israelites needed to do to have good success in the land. And this chapter 8 starts off with him reminding them of God's command and obeying those commands, and he puts in context all that they went through in the wilderness, how God kept them, how he fed them, how they went through the wilderness and he was preserving them, and then summed it up for them like this: just like a parent disciplines a child for their own good, that's how God disciplines them. And that was in 8:5. And it made me think about, how there's definitely a difference between discipline and punishment, So some of the things that they went through was discipline just to, make them shape up, and some were punishment for outright rebellion. He wants them not to forget God when they enter into the lovely and fruitful land that eats their fill, when they build good houses and enjoy all the blessings. And I thought this was really powerful because as humans, we always have very short memories. We tend to, when we get the gifts or the blessing, to love the blessing and forget the giver of the blessing. And really, I'm talking about God. Sometimes when we have like good jobs, good friends, good family, everything that we had always prayed for, and then God now starts to take a back seat, and that inevitably leads to pride. And Moses in these chapters warned the children of Israel against pride. Moses assured them that if they ever forget and follow other gods, they'll be destroyed, just as the nations whose lands they now occupied were. In chapter 9, we know that Moses is speaking to them on the day they would enter the land. He told them that their victory would only be by God's grace, that God will go before them and subdue the nation so that they could conquer quickly. So we know that for sure there were giants in the land. Remember at first I was saying that the spies were probably exaggerating to make the people scared, but in these chapters, in these verses, we know that the giants did live in the land. They were the descendants of the Anakites. He tells them that God isn't giving them the land because they are good, but because the nations were wicked, and he promised their ancestors as well, which made me like connect the dots. So they would lose the land as well if they ended up being wicked and doing what the nations before them did. Then Moses recounts their rebellion against the Lord, from the golden calf to all the other 4 times, and how he interceded for them each time. He told them what God requires of them, which was basically to fear him, live in a way that pleased him, loved him, and serve him with all their heart and their soul. He reiterated God's love to them and asked them to change their hearts and stop being stubborn. Now here's my hashtag getting to know God moment. God is the master of the universe. He owns everything. And yet, he set his affections on the Israelites. Not because of how good they are. Obviously, we have seen in all the things that we have read so far, they are not. It's actually on the contrary. But in spite of their lack of goodness, God loved them. We also have God's love. In spite of whatever it is that we have done, we have God's love. And what's more, we've been set free from punishment because Jesus has taken all of that on our behalf. How amazing is that to know? For those of us who love Jesus, those of us who have given our lives to Jesus. And if you haven't yet, I urge you to enjoy this love and this freedom from punishment. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow, where I will share lessons from Deuteronomy 11 to 13. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.